Hey everybody, Ryan here. Alright, early day today. It's kind of nice. Alright, so I'm going to go over all the games for today. An early day for the 15th of April 2021. If you have not done so already, please hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit that like button as well if you enjoy the video. Alright, let's get started. First game was between the Islanders and the Bruins. Both teams picked up big players at trade deadline. Let's see how they played tonight, if they got anything offensively. Well, Boston won this one 4-1. Boston finally, I think that's 2 in a row now. A winning streak that seems to have been elusive up until now. Alright, minute 49 into the first. Brad Marchand's 20th of the year from Patrice Bergeron and Mike Riley. Mike Riley's first point as a Boston Bruin. 17:55 into the first. Craig Smith's 10th on the power play from Krejci and McAvoy. Then at 2:56 of the second period, Travis Zajac will get his 8th of the year, first as a New York Islander, from Matthew Barzal and Jordan Eberle. That would be the only goal for the Islanders, though, is the downside. Mid-52 into the third, Taylor Hall gets his first goal as a Bruin, his 3rd of the year, from Pastrnak. At 18:24 of the third, Marchand gets his 2nd of the game, 21st of the year, from Pastrnak. Giving you 4-1, the final score. Boston outshot the Islanders 45-23. I'd say they outplayed them. Both teams 50% in the faceoff dot. Islanders 0 for 3 on the power play. Boston 1 for 5. Penalty minutes 10-6, 10 for the Islanders. Hits 34-23 in favor of the Islanders. Blocks 19-7 in favor of the Islanders. And giveaways 13-11, Islanders with 13. Varlamov made 41 saves, 932 save percentage in the loss. As you can tell, he played really well tonight. And Tuukka Rask in his first game back, 22 saves, 957 save percentage for the win. Also played very well, but was nowhere near as busy. Alright, next game. New Jersey at the New York Islanders. Or New York Rangers. Sorry Ranger fans. I still have the Islanders from the previous game in my head. Rangers win this one 4-0. I'd say the Rangers are definitely trying to get in the playoffs, but the team they're chasing won tonight. That kind of hurts. 47 seconds into the game, Jacob Trouba gets his 2nd of the year from Colin Blackwell and Mika Zibanejad. Now at 6:39 of the first, Ryan Lindgren's 1st of the year from Artemi Panarin and Adam Fox. Then at the 12-minute mark of the first, Panarin will get his 14th of the year from Strome and Blackwell. Then at 12:51 of the second, Panarin will get his 2nd of the game, 15th of the year, from Strome and Blackwell. That would make it 4-0 your final score. Obviously no scoring in the third at that point. Rangers would outshoot the Devils 33-16. Devils will win the faceoff dot though, 52-48. Devils were 0 for 3 on the power play, Rangers 0 for 2. 6 penalty minutes to 4, Rangers was 6. Hits were 17-11 in favor of the Rangers. Blocks 27 in favor of the Rangers. And giveaways 10-9, Rangers with 10. Mackenzie Blackwood 29 saves, 879 save percentage for a loss. And Shesterkin had a 16 save shutout for the victory. Which should be implied with the shutout, I know, but just because I'm going to say it that way. Buffalo versus the Washington Capitals. What's going on with Buffalo? They're suddenly good. Jack Eichel, they announced, is out for the rest of the year, and I spelled Reinhardt wrong there, I just realized. But it's like, what's happening? They're winning now. I think they've lost 1 or 2 in their last 5. That's actually fairly good for them, considering they came off a, what was it, 18-game losing streak not long ago? Not bad. But they beat the Capitals 5-2. 18:50 into the first, Sam Reinhart, which, like I said, I misspelled there. Sorry about that. His 15th of the year from Dylan Cousins and Henry Jokiharju. Then the Capitals would tie at 19:37 of the first. Dmitry Orlov's 6th from TJ Oshie. Then the Sabres will have a good second period. Minute 36 into the second. Victor Olofsson's 12th unassisted. Then 5:42 into the second, Casey Milstad's 7th from Anders Bjork. Not his first point as a Buffalo Sabre, but his first multi-point game as a Buffalo Sabre, as you'll see coming up. Then 9:59 of the second period, Anthony Mantha would get his second goal as a Washington Capital, his 13th of the year from John Carlson and Nicholas Backstrom. At 13:23, Anders Bjork would get his first goal as a Buffalo Sabre from Dylan Cousins. At 19:17 in the third, Tage Thompson would get his fifth from Rasmus Asplund. Making it 5-2, Buffalo victory. Buffalo would outshoot them 30-29. Faceoffs were 61-39 in favor of the Capitals, heavily in favor of. Power plays 0 for 2 for Buffalo, 0 for 3 for Washington. Penalty minutes 8-6, Buffalo with 8. Hits 27-13 in favor of the Capitals. Blocks 14-10 in favor of the Buffalo Sabres. And giveaways were 15-5, Washington with 15. Tokarski, 27 saves and 931 save percentage for the victory tonight. I want to say Vanchek was pulled. I want to say I looked up and now I've forgotten. Jeez. Vanchek started 17 saves, 810 save percentage, and Craig Anderson came in 8 saves, 1000 save percentage. He has his own little mini shutout, but it doesn't count as a shutout. All right, Nashville versus Carolina. Carolina wins this one 4-1. Yikes. Nashville needs these points, and that's a hurtful loss right there. All right, 18:26 into the first, Warren Fogel's ninth from Jordan Stahl and Nino Niederreiter. Then 14 seconds into the second period, Andrei Svechnikov gets his 11th of the year. Really seems like he has not had as good a year this year as last year. I mean, he's still having a decent year, but don't get me wrong, but I just feel like he's not living up to what he did last year. But you never know. Sometimes you just go through those. Even Alex Ovechkin has down years. I mean, if you consider 30-odd-some goals a down year, then yes, a down year. All right, 5:34 into the second. Vincent Trocheck, 17th from Brett Pesce and Martin Necas. Then at 9:30 of the third period, Eric Holla would end the shutout for his former team. His 5th of the year from Colton Sissons and Ben Harper. Then at 17:22 of the third, Sebastian Aho would add his 18th of the year on the power play from Trocheck and Svechnikov, making it 4-1, your final score. Carolina beat Nashville in the shots with 29-20. Faceoffs were 52-48 in favor of Nashville. Power play 0 for 4 for Nashville, 1 for 3 for Carolina. Penalty minutes 12-10, Carolina with 12. 32 hits each. Blocks were 11-7 in favor of Carolina. Giveaways 19-8, Carolina with 19. Saros had 25 saves, 869 save percentage for a loss. And Mrazek, 19 saves, 950 save percentage for the win. On to Florida versus Tampa, the Battle of Florida. I know they've both been around for some time now, but it still sounds funny to say the Battle of Florida when it comes to hockey. It really still feels funny, but hey, you know what? It works. Alright. Tampa won this one 3-2 in overtime. By the way, Florida got some bad news today. Carter Verhaeghe, who has had, I know I keep saying this all the time, but he's had an amazingly good year for them this year, is out week to week. Upper body injury. So I'm guessing he took a hit up high. He probably hurt his shoulders or neck or even concussion. You never know. Alright, so scoring wise in this game, 15-13 into the first, Patrick Hornquist 13th from Alexander Wenberg and Marcus Nudavara. At 13:28 of the second, Alex Killorn's 11th on the power play from Andrei Vasilevsky. Goalie point. Alright, 7:13 into the third, Florida takes their second lead of the game. Anthony Duclair's 5th of the year from Huberdeau and Nudavara. Then Tampa ties it again. 9:57 into the third, Ross Colton's 8th from Mikhail Sergachev and Blake Coleman. Then we go to overtime. It took all of 54 seconds for Victor Hedman to get his 8th goal of the year from Alex Killorn, giving Tampa the 2 points. Florida at least gets a point. Florida actually outplayed them fairly heavily in this game. Considering who they're missing now, I mean, it's amazing. But they outshot them. They outshot Tampa 38-19. Beat him in the faceoff dot as well, 66-34. Power play was 0 for 3 for Florida, 1 for 2 for Tampa. Penalty minutes 6-4, Tampa was 6. Hits 35-26 in favor of Tampa. Blocks 11-7 in favor of Florida. And giveaways were 1-0. Very low giveaway game. Tampa with 1. I'd be irritated about that 1. Just saying, if I was a coach, I'd be very irritated with that 1 right there. Be like, are you freaking kidding me? 1 giveaway? You could have held on for 0 giveaways? Really? Come on! Moving on. Drager is how they said it the other day, sorry. Drager had 16 saves, 842 save percentage in the loss. And Vasilevsky, 36 saves, 947 save percentage for the victory. On to Philadelphia versus Pittsburgh. Oh, Philly wins this one, 2-1. They allowed less than 4 goals in a game. That's amazing in itself. Anyways, 5:04 into the second. Sidney Crosby, 17th of the year, from Chris Letang and Brian Dumoulin. At minute 24 into the third, Philly ties it. Jakub Voracek's 8th from Philip Myers. Excuse me. It is hotter than the Hades here in California today, and I had 2 fans going, and the dust is making me sneeze. Shootout. Sean Couturier would score the winning shootout goal, giving Philadelphia a much-needed 2 points if they want to stay in this race. Pittsburgh outshot them 32-27. Philadelphia won the faceoff dot 52-48. Both teams 0 for 3 on the power play, 6 penalty minutes each. Philadelphia out-hit Pittsburgh 25-16. They beat them in the blocks as well, 13-6. And giveaways were 9-6, Pittsburgh with 9. Carter Hart, he had a good game. Ah! I'm sure Philadelphia fans are celebrating that right now. I'm sure there's a drinking game now named after Carter Hart in Philadelphia. A game filled with sorrow. Just saying. Carter Hart made 31 saves, 969 save percentage. That's how he should be playing every night. Or at least that's what they say he should be playing like every night. Hopefully he can keep that up. I really do. I think he'll be a good goaltender. It's just, it's a sophomore jinx type of year. Jerry for Pittsburgh had 26 saves, 963 save percentage for the loss. So, both goalies were very good tonight. It just came down to a shootout. And somebody has to win. Alright, on to North Division matchup. Winnipeg versus Toronto. Toronto still waiting for their new players. Oh, Winnipeg won this one 5-2. Maybe they didn't need to pick anybody up. But then again, Toronto's also missing Austin Matthews due to injury and William Nylander due to COVID. So, that probably helped too. 10:45 into the first period. 3:41 into the first period. Alex Galchenyuk gets his 3rd of the year. I believe that is his first goal as a Maple Leaf. I could be incorrect, but I want to say that's his first as a Maple Leaf. From Mitch Marner, who reached 40 assists on the year, and John Tavares. 10:45 into the first. This is when Winnipeg takes over this period. 10:45 into the first. Nikolai Ehlers, 19th on the power play from Neil Pionk and Pierre-Luc Dubois. 11:12 into the first. So, oh god, less than half a minute after that, or less than 30 seconds after the previous one. Kyle Connor's 20th of the year from Scheifele and Pionk. Then at 13:54, just under 3 minutes after the previous one, Scheifele's 17th from Connor. Then at 6:47 of the second, Toronto will make it 3-2, but it was already too late at that point considering the final score. 6:47 in the second, Tavares scored his 14th of the year from Jason Spezza and Nick Robertson, who pulled into the lineup with the injuries and such, and with the other guys not being there. 5:34 into the third period, Nikolai Ehlers would get his 20th unassisted. Then at 19:23, Kyle Connor would score his 21st power play goal from Paul Stastny and Mark Scheifele, giving it 5-2. Winnipeg with the 2 points, trying to catch up to Toronto. Toronto outshot Winnipeg 33-24. They beat him in the faceoff dot as well, 57-43. Winnipeg was 2 for 3 on the power play. Toronto 0 for 4. Definitely missing Matthews and Nylander in that situation. Penalty minutes 8-6, 8 for Winnipeg. Hits were 32-15 in favor of Winnipeg. Blocks 15-12 in favor of Winnipeg. Giveaways 17-10 in favor of Toronto, or not in favor of, but Toronto was 17. Hellebuck made 31 saves, 939 save percentage in the victory. And Campbell made 3 saves for 500 save percentage, and Rittich made 16 saves for 941 save percentage. So I'm betting you can tell who was the starter there, because they got pulled. Anyways, that's it for this one. Let's move on. Chicago versus Detroit. Detroit with another victory. I believe that is 3 in a row now. Maybe 4, actually. I'll have to look at the standings. Anyways, 14:47 into first. Duncan Keith was Scorer's 3rd of the year. Yes, he still plays. From Alex DeBrincat and Dylan Strome. That is Chicago's one and only goal for the game. 4:49 into the second period. Troy Stecher would get his 2nd of the year from Mark Stahl and Luke Glendening. Yes, the Glendening that wasn't traded, despite being high up on the trade board. Right. 8:55 into the second period. Jakub Vrana gets his first goal as a Detroit Red Wing, his 12th of the year from Gustav Lindstrom. Then at 11:15 of the second period, Stecher would get his 2nd goal of the period, 3rd of the year, from DeKaiser and Nemeshnikov. Then at 18:34 of the third, Michael Rasmussen would add his 3rd of the year from Adam Ernie and Mark Stahl. Mark Stahl with, I believe, his first multi-point game in sometime indeed. Detroit outshot Chicago 28-25. Beat him in the faceoff dot as well, 62-38. Chicago 0 for 3 on the power play. Detroit 0 for 1. Penalty minutes were 6-2. Detroit was 6. Hits 19-9 in favor of Detroit. Blocks were 24-6 in favor of Detroit. Giveaways 8-4. Detroit with 8. So Detroit won every category. I mean, they had less power play chances. That was about it. They won the 2 bad categories there. Lankinen made 24 saves, 889 save percentage in the loss, and Chicago cannot catch up to Nashville today because they both lost in regulation. So no gaining, no movement there. Thomas Greiss, 24 saves, 960 save percentage for the victory. That seems really hard for him to get this year, so it's really good to see him get some victories finally. I think he was on 1 for the first half of the year. On to the last game of the evening, Columbus versus Dallas. The 2 teams that have a star very prominent in their logos, as you can see by the only ones with points in their friggin' symbol. Drives me crazy sometimes having to fit them in to my little picture that I post for the header, for the picture for the video, because they're harder to angle about. Drives me crazy, but I still actually like them both. So I miss the old Columbus Blue Jackets symbol though with a B. I actually kind of like that one. Doubt I'm about neutral with theirs. Although I did like that one second jersey they had a while back. The what was that? The Taurus constellation, Taurus constellation. That one was actually kind of cool. I didn't mind that at all. All right. Dallas wins this one 4-1, getting 2 needed points to keep catching up with everybody. Because they still had games in hand over pretty much everybody. So, because they started the year on COVID protocol, so they didn't play most of their beginning to the year. So they're going to have a lot of games here real quick. Alright, 7:16 in the first, Jack Roslovic gets his 9th of the year from Michael Del Zotto and Michael Grigorenko. Didn't even realize Grigorenko was still playing. 16:42 into the second, Dennis Garyanov gets his 7th of the year from Jason Dickinson and Joel Hanley. At 18:01 in the second, Miro Heiskanen gets his 7th of the year. A lot of 7s in this game. From Jamie Alexiak and Garyanov. At 8:16 into the third, Garyanov gets his 2nd of the game, 8th of the year, from Etzel Lindell and John Klingberg. At 15:08 of the third, Joe Pavelski would add his 17th of the year from Rupe Hintz and Jason Robertson, giving Dallas the 4-1 victory, continuing to climb up those standings. Maybe they might get past Nashville for a last spot. I believe they're still in a spot where, with the games in hand, they actually would be ahead of them by 1 point if they win all 3 games in hand. If. That's the big question. So theoretically in the playoffs, but theoretically not, but literally not. Alright, shots on goal were dominated by Dallas, 31-18. Dallas also dominated faceoff dot, 66-34. Power plays 0 for 1 for both teams, 2 pound minutes each. Hits were 20-17 in favor of Columbus. Blocks 19-8 in favor of Columbus. Giveaways 9 each. Merzlikins had 27 saves, 871 save percentage for loss. And Ottinger, 17 saves, 944 save percentage for the victory. And there you have it. That's all the games for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also hit that little notification bell next to the subscribe button so you can be notified when I drop a new video. Other than that, make sure to comment and share as well. And also, I want to touch on this. I had someone in the last video ask me for a specific video. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to hopefully have that done this weekend. And you know what? If you ever feel like you want a certain type of video, ask. I might be able to accommodate. I can't guarantee it'll be right away, but I will get it out as soon as possible. I don't mind doing requests, as long as they are within the realm of possibility. Like, I don't like doing things like, who would be the all-time team considering all players from the late 1800s to now? How the hell can I compare the guys playing like the late 1800s to the guys playing now? It's a whole different game. The rules were wholly different too. I mean, even comparing guys from the 80s and 90s to today, it's a little hard to do. I mean, a little bit easier. The rules were fairly close, but that was the interference time, pre-salary cap, and all this sort of stuff. I mean, just keep it within the realm of possibility is all I'm asking. And it's not like I got watching the guys from the late 1800s. I'm not that old. Am I? No, I'm not. That would be kind of cool to be that old, though. No, it wouldn't. No, maybe it would. It would, actually. Alright, anyways, getting out that tangent. Alright, other than that, I will see you all next video. Bye, everybody.